Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina wa Nabiyyina Muhammadin wa alihi at-Tahirin. قال الله في كتابه الكريم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لقد كان لكم في رسول الله أسوة حسنة لمن كان يرجو الله واليوم الآخرة وذكر الله كثيرا صدق الله العلي العظيم. Illuminate your hearts and minds with the loud salawat ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. Humans are adaptive creatures, beings that adapt to their surroundings, and by adapting, they help themselves be able to endure the different difficulties that might happen. And not only is this adaptation happening physically, but sometimes it also happens mentally. What does this mean? The nature of a human is that it always strives to be better, be greater. And so sometimes one might see this way to get better or be greater in finding an idol or following someone that they see as great. Adapting in a situation where I want to be better and greater, and so I follow a certain person. I keep a certain person as my idol, and through this idol, I grow and I be better. Now, a person, as we have said, a human, the nature of a human is to always try to be better and greater. And for someone to be better and greater, there are different ways, but usually the most known way, the familiar way which everyone uses to be able to maintain and achieve this greatness is by following others that they see and deem as great themselves as well. Other people who seem better. Now, when I look at someone who's, as I see, as I deem, is great and better, do I follow this person or do I not follow this person? What are the views of Islam on role models and idols? We will begin with the loud salawat ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. Of course, we have been brought in this world to be tested. And based on our actions and our attitude and our hard work, we are all given different grades. One might get flying scores, one might not pass the test, one might pass with average grades. And through these tests, one can evaluate how much work they have put in towards this exam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as we have said, has brought us in this world for a test. And through this test, we are showing ourselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, redeeming ourselves towards Him with the highest grades that we can have. And naturally, definitely, without a doubt, He would be very pleased if we were to choose someone as an idol who He Himself accepts, who He Himself deems as a worthy idol, someone who is great, who is better, and can help me get flying scores or good grades on this exam. Pass in a very well-fashioned manner. Let's go over some of the idols that Islam or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Himself accepts and deems as worthy people being followed. Now, let's start one by one, going over the different idols and inspirations that one is able to have. With the prophets, Imam Ali alayhi salam in a hadith, he says that طُوبَى لِمَنْ عَمِلَ بِسُنَّةِ الدِّينِ. Fortunate is the one who acts towards the traditions of religion, وَأَقْتَفَ آثَارَ النَّبِيِّينَ. And this person, as well as acting towards the traditions, they follow, learn, and act towards the teachings that the Prophet themselves have taught to us. Now, all the prophets are idols to us, inspirations to us. But there are some prophets who are greater than others, better than others, and learning from these prophets can make a significant change compared to the others. In the Quran, in the Surah of Mumtahana, the 4th verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قد كانت لكم أسوة حسنة في إبراهيم والذين معه صدق الله العلي العظيم. Illuminate your hearts and minds with Allah. Salawat ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that surely there is a very well ulgu, idol, and inspiration from the Prophet Ibrahim and his companions, those who are with him. And from the Prophet Ibrahim, we see that he is one of the closest prophets to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, has a higher level and higher status than the rest of the prophets. And one prophet is greater than all of them. As we all know, our prophet, the Prophet Muhammad. And as the verse that was stated in the beginning, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that وَلَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. There resides inside of the Prophet a very great and Rasulullah. No, this is a different verse. Different verse. Resides in the Prophet a great inspiration and idol for all of us to learn from. And so, from this, we can see ourselves that the idols or inspiration one might have differ from each other. And one can choose an idol based on their own circumstance. I might just be starting to, fix myself, hold myself together, and want to choose an idol from which I can be better, climb up this ladder of grades, be better, have a better score on my exam. And so I want to choose someone that I can Please recite Allah salawat Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. Choose someone that I can relate to. And so after I have reached this point of where I can relate to this person, and if I have met a level where I am, on a good status, then I can choose a higher and better idol. And so we see from this example that was brought, first the prophets, then the better prophets, then the best out of all the prophets, our prophet, the Prophet Muhammad. Now, this was the first example of idols or inspiration that are accepted and deemed as worthy in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let's go over another set of idols, another set of inspirations that one can choose to help themselves greaten and be better. The Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. The family and the progeny of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This family has such a level, has such greatness, so pure that and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the surah of Ahzab, the 33rd verse, he says, it's a very famous verse, إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُذْهِبَ عَنْكُمُ الرِّجْسَ أَهْلَ الْبَيْتِ وَيُطَهِّرَكُمْ تَطْهِيرًا. Allah has chosen, has ordered for you, the Ahlul Bayt, to be pure from all sins. This family, which is immaculate, the most perfect family, the best of idols, is definitely are definitely idols or inspirations worthy and deemed as the greatest in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and in the religion of Islam. Now, one question might come. This is a question that might come by. Are the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam only the 5 people which have been known throughout the Islamic religion? the Prophet, Imam Ali, Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein, Lady Fatima? Or are they also the 12 Imams that come after them? The 12 Imams from the Imam Ali alayhi salam all the way to the Imam of our time, the Imam Mahdi ajallahu ta'ala faraj al-sharif. In a hadith from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says that إنما نزلت في وفي أخي علي وفي ابنتي وفي ابنتي فاطمة وفي ابني وفي تسعة من ولد الحسين خاصة وليس معنا أحد غيرنا. The Prophet ﷺ here is describing and giving a commentation on this verse that was brought. He says that this verse in the Quran, in the Surah of Ahzab, the 33rd verse, has been brought for me, Imam Ali, my daughter Lady Fatima, Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein, and the 9 children that will come, the progeny of the Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam in a hadith, he says that إِنَّمَا أَوْلِيَائِيَ الَّذِينَ سَلَّمُوا الْأَمْرَنَا. Surely our Shi'as, our followers, are those who are surrendering to our teachings, to our orders, to what we have commanded them to. وَاتَّبُعُوا آثَارَنَا. And they are the ones who follow and take inspiration from the different footsteps that we have left behind, our teachings and our traditions. بِنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمُورِنَا. Not just some of the traditions, not some of the teachings, but to all of them. And so we can see that another one of the accepted idols, inspirations in Islam, which are deemed worthy in the eyes of subhanahu wa ta'ala, are the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, the most perfect of inspirations. Now, there are more examples, but tonight we have reached a dead end, the time limit. Inshallah, we will be continuing in the future nights. May Allah, inshallah, bless us throughout all our lives, give us the status of being the true Shi'as of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, and make us alim and amil to the teachings of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Wa sallallahu ala